G'day and welcome, fellow dragons. It's Shane, just popping in because I found an awesome demo I wanted to share. It's called Esoteric EBB, or Esoteric EBB. It's basically, imagine Disco Elysium, but you're playing in a D&D world. Very, very cool game. I've just had a simple play of it, but I want you to really have a real sort of look at it. So I'm going to give it about an hour, hour and a half of play, and then, yeah, be done with it for the day sort of thing. So, yeah, let's get into it, shall we? By the way, the guy that's made this, it is so feels like Disco Elysium. Unbelievably so. But, yeah. Alright, new game. You get to choose your character for a start. So, first of all, you get to choose all your things, but let's choose a focused background first. Let's see, it's Troll Killer, so it's kind of fighter. Kiosk Kid, so that's kind of a rogue I would go for. That seems like a wizard of some description. I'll go for a warlock. Full charisma. Who does full charisma? Little weirdo. You unnovel the items in boy who wouldn't do anything for their attention and approval after 2 or so years you'd get quite a thing. Hey, showdown! No Jay? Jay's asleep and this is really just a stream for myself. I'm just picked up this game and I played about an hour and a half of it and it's so good. It's only in the demo, the full game comes out on Saturday, but it's like playing Disco Elysium but for D&D nerds. Yes, late stream. Sorry about that. But no, I played this game and it it's got a lot of good vibes for it. Like I just think it's just worth a lot of sort of airplay for people to have a look at. If they brought out a tabletop version for this, I think it would sell like hotcakes before the day's out. Oh, Christ, you're up early. What are you doing up that? No, let me guess, you're up that late. That's the issue. Agonize, so wisdom, charisma. So probably go for like strength and dext. Dext and wisdom. Yeah. I think I might go for strength and wisdom. I think I might go for a full sort of wizard run. Wizard with strength or constitution? So many options. No, I'm going to go for the full cleric. Sort of wizard one. There we go. 2 intelligence and with strength. That's arcane or constitution. Constitution, keep myself alive. Alright, so I've got that. So let's give everything a base of 10. So it gives us halfway decent stats to work with. Now, this one adds 1. This adds 2. We have 2, 4, 5 to play with. And we have proficiency in that and that. Oops. And that has 2. Alright, so we got 3 to play with in reality. Now let's just split it. 1, 2, 3. Alrighty. Let's go! 5 days until the first ever election. An explosion erupts in the heart of the city. No one wants to deal with it, so they send you. A wrecked cleric amongst the peers, yet also an esoteric genius, the perfect man for the job. Complete your quest in any order. Don't be afraid to make incorrect decisions, and remember to make all of them bow down before you. The campaign will take over in level 6 and play for about 5 to 8 sessions. You've been journey to putting together. I hope you've got time, Chris. And tip: boost your favourite stats and always make things more fun. Speak with the dead. A useful spell if you want to speak with the dead. Let's press on the strange orb. Jaw. Truth and nothing else, a voice declares. What is your name? Success. Ragan. Your name is Ragan. And in your statement of sinistry, Ragan Hamlin. Okay. Stay silent. Don't. Ragan doesn't sound right. Ragan or stay silent. We'll go for that. Functionally correct. Your answer. Another question from the darkness. What is your occupation? Success. You are dead. I'm dead. That's my occupation. Dead? Who can you be dead? How can you be dead? You're thinking, aren't you? Dead does not mean gone. What are you? What are you? A fucking poet? Look around. What occupation is in this in context? Stay silent. Let's look around. It's more than darkness. It's nothing all around you. Okay. Don't you have a job? Something that's really important? Your class. Tell the voice about your class. Class? What class am I? Constitution says lower class. Jeez. You are a great spellcaster who has ruled the world, who will rule the world one day. I'm a goddamn wizard. I'm awful at everything. Stay silent. I'm a goddamn wizard. Gods be damned, you are. It takes a while before the next question is posed. What is your current goal? You need to find out who blew up the tea shop. Tea shop exploded? The goblin chieftain, she needs you. A tea shop exploded? Why all these questions? To find the goblin chieftain, is that right? Unfortunately, yes. The tea shop exploded. It's not good. I like tea. Great. I hate tea shops. They should be banned. I don't have any strong opinions on tea shops. In fact, I've never think of them at all. We'll go for I like tea shops. They are lovely, yes. You may ruminate further on the tea shop at a later date. There is a question to be answered. Why all these questions? No clue, but you shouldn't keep them talking. It's been silent here for far too long. To find a goblin chieftain, is that right? You know it to be true. No reply, no feedback. Then the voice asks, what's your political affirmation? The question strikes you entirely in your entire consciousness, sending it spinning. It is the Azagalists. Yes, they are decent, possibly. It is the duty of the powerful to lead. That is you, no one else. The free riders, maybe. Then again, you're no revolutionary. Things just move way too fast these days. Elections are? Oh, it failed. Exhausting. It hides in the back of your skull, in a fact that you are bound to the nationalists. And it frightens you. The pressure. I should be in charge like a god and king wizard lord. Why not? Once we base our worth in knowledge and ability, it shall come again. The voice is fading. This is the end. The final question. How did you die? Level drowning in the river. Now is your chance. Break free. I fell into divinity. She took me whole. I died when he died? Stay silent until the darkness ends. I am not dead. I'm not dead. Monty Python's reference for anyone there. Not dead. That'll do it. Chink. Ooh, opening sequence. Move the mouse. Hey. Right, the music in this, the art style, this is a really good game. Comes out on Saturday, if I haven't mentioned already. I don't know the price, they haven't said that, but screw it, I'm paying it. I definitely want a copy of this game. And of course, it's playing over the top of each other. How I love it when it does that. Let me fix that. Which one are you? The game. Blink. Disappear. Strange esoterical stopwatch. But like Disco Elysium, there is no right or wrong answer, there is just make a choice and do stuff. See what happens. Okay. Day 1, March 22nd. You. A fresh start. Get up. Your body aches. It's stiff, as if you've slept for days. Ready for your glorious quest to continue. Look around. Check your stuff. Let's look around. A circular stone chamber, a storage for apples and corpses. That doesn't seem like a good idea. Those piles of apples. Is this Tolstad? What is Tolstad? Tolstad, a sprawling island fortress and one of 5 districts in the city. It sits in the middle of the river Torna, home of Jaw's Pillars, a sprawling tunnel network and water lanes, the great trade. You rest, mate. Have a good sleep. Thanks for popping in. Good to see you. Be well. Tunnel network and water lanes, the greatest trade hub in Ascani. You are in Tolston right now. Oh, okay. Check stuff. What stuff? Your hands dart around your pouch and uniform. Panic sweats. Fail. No spellbook, no mace. Face it, you've been robbed. Your legs shake, tears begin to form. Deep breaths, your belongings are here somewhere. Wait, what about the quest? Ah, yes, a quest. You're on a quest to save the city. Save the city? Do I remember everything? Yes, everything is off, but your memory is intact. Oh, okay. Your quest was given yesterday, remember? The tea shop. The tea shop. Yep, the tea shop that blew up. Easy job, you'll be done in a day or 2. Just a job, huh? I've done this before. Gained 5 experience. Well, maybe not this particular type of job. Your previous experience lies more in some basic Uthgard thing. Please tell me you're a bot. Created the 27th of February. Yeah, you're gone. Bye-bye. As well as a thing. What is Uthgard? Uthgard, the hero of Norvik. Keepers of the laws and defending of humanity's your brothers. Nordvik, your home city, founder by your god towards the end of the coast. War. It is built upon several layers of ancient ruins. Rogue sorcery was not your main subject, but yes, you've read a lot about these types of fiery events. There are not too common these days. However, the incident does not appear overly complex. A quest, I like those. Good attitude. There's always more around the corner, so look out. Don't want to miss any. Oh, wait, how much time do I have? Until the election, duh. Which is in 5 days. The Patriarch, a top clerical god. Patriarch is a very clear handle was very clear. Handle the tea shop before the election day. Patriarch, a top clerical rank in Norvik. Different from Lord Patriarch, which is the traditional administrative leader of the city. Only about a dozen men currently hold the rank. They manage a section of clerics at each of the towers. Clerics, a servant of God, deeply devoted and spiritually connected, typically a divine spellcaster given power through their deity. You must honor the request and complete this quest. Quest, a task performed by a heroic individual and or professional adventurer. Time only advances when you make new choices in dialogue. So to be clear, I need to figure out who blew up the random tea shop and move on. More or less. But you've got like 5 days to do it, so no stress. Can I think about it first? Time is limited. It's just a lot to... You feel dizzy. You bastard! Knock 4 hit points off me. Ouch. Continue. The weight of the Uthgar uniform, a dull pain takes hold. Your body aches, the contents rotting. Its contents rotting. You must consume any apple, now. There are many apples here, and corpses. Corpses? What the hell is this place? If your stats are high or low enough, chimes will appear in your mind. They will suggest information and offer unique paths. Trust them at your own risk. I'm so confused. Your mind is ungodly powerful. Get yourself together. One step at a time. Get going to leave. Okay. Take the apple. Consume the apple. Feel better. This isn't yours, is it? Tattered cloak. The cloak is sprawled upon the iron slab. As you grab it, you immediately feel the dampness spread into your gloves. Oh. It is a light blue and tattered. It was once yours. The Uthgard cloak add-on. It has been ripped to shreds at the base, but you could still use it. Please don't. This thing is disgusting. It is heavy. Wring out the water. The filthy liquid falls to the floor of the stony chamber. It's still quite damp. Should I wear this? No. Of course you should wear it. A hood is the perfect tool for any deceit, rogue and or ne'er-do-well. So, what if it's a little damp? You have to wear it. I'll think about it. You reach for your fancy red pouch of holding. The cloak easily slips inside the extra-dimensional space with a satisfying slurp. I really love my pouch of holding. God, I can fit so many items in this thing. I'll go for that. No problem, Shadow. Be well. Yes, you are very lucky. This kind of magic item can be upwards of 10,000 crowns. Of course, you don't truly own the pouch of holding. It is the property of the state. Treat it as such. Shut up, it's yours. You can do whatever you want with it. Now, go put on your cloak and robs people, reallocate some resources. Equipping items temporarily alters your ability scores. Some leaves in a vase. Ooh, incense leaves. What do they do? Incense easily burned spice and herbs can be used to recover first level spell slots. Okay. Good to know. Tattered cloak. The end of the torn is stretched to even call it a cloak. +1 to dexterity, -1 to charisma. I just realised something. This isn't actually sitting right on the screen. No, it's sitting alright. Just looking at it. Nope, that's fine. City, skills, cleric. Oh, hold on. Esoteric skill. A servant of God, deeply devoted to the spiritual connections, typically a thing. Oops. History, language, literature, nature, politics, religion, patriarch, spells, strengths. Fascinating. And a mighty quest system. I'm a level 1 wizard. And arcanist. Oh, that could be interesting. Alright. Behold, it's a corpse underneath the blanket. So you can't sleep here. No response. Sir, please don't ignore me. Stop the idiotic behaviour. If you wish to commune with the dead in any meaningful way, I suggest you speak with the dead. No breath, no movement, nothing. He's dead. No shit. A true statement. Actually check under the rag. Underneath you find a cold corpse of a human. Thinning blonde hair, unkept facial hair. Mine forfeited, factory worker. Ascani blood. His complexion shows nearly no decay, most likely under the effects of a preserving spell. DC class or dice choice is determined by how challenging that roll will be for you. If you succeed in a dice roll choice, then roll a 20-sided dice. If you get the same number or higher as the DC, then you'll succeed at that roll. Intelligent 10 plus. I'm good with corpses, right? What do you mean? Like, I've been trained to handle them, right? Like, success. You do have the training to handle them. You do not have the training to handle them, no. But of course, you do have the skills to draw basic conclusions, so go ahead. Let's see, alright, I'm mostly dealt with paperwork. A hero is not afraid of getting his hands bloody. Got it. I'm a master of corpse craft. Perhaps one day. Okay, let's... Oh, that lowered the difficulty. Interesting. Yay! 17. There is something strange here. There is no regular, gentle repose. Lean in and look closer. Harsh scars covered in the skin. Signs of being either a hard worker or a careless worker litter his skin. Cause of death appears to be not directly visible. No blunt trauma either. Considering his age and the shape of his body, the man most likely died of a common disease or internal failure. That's pretty bad and vague. Unless you're willing to start cutting, that's all you got. All you get. Expert. What? There's also a marking on the right leg, a circle with a cross inside it. 300 pieces and 300 pieces added. You recall that is the mark of PR, political revocation. Oh, right, the guy can be revived. Seems so. He's most likely died during care and was granted immediate gentle repose. What? Gentle repose, level 2 necromancy spell, keeping a corpse from decaying. Oh, okay. However, he clearly did not have a a revive fund, nor did his family have family members with enough ready cash. Revive Fund, a type of life insurance. Monthly payments are made into an account that can be used to pay for the resurrections of a fallen holder, given they're under the age of 75 human scale. Or perhaps he was just an unlikely, likable fellow. Who knows? Fair enough. So I can cast Revivify on this guy, right? Potentially yes. Though the question is more akin to why should you? A 3rd level spell slot is a valuable resource. Why waste it on some blue-collared corpse? That's terrible. If you can always save a life or bring it to them back, that is always the right choice. Of course it isn't. Ignore the fact that you cannot simply spend your power on any old fool. There is also a million outcomes to the resurrection that could lead to a negative outcome in the world, despite your good intentions. Good intentions build a better world. Perhaps in a foolish alignment system, but not in reality. Alignment, an esoteric effect that brands each creature on the coast with one of 9 labels in 2 axioms, lawful or chaotic and good or evil. It is debated exactly who or what determines the parameters within the effects. Spells like Detect Alignment are capable of phrasing this effect, of parsing this effect. The coast is also known as Jaws Realm. It is a strip of land divided into 8 bands. The further inland you go, the closer you get to the infinite waste. It is theorized to be a ring or a half sphere due to the bend of the horizon. Who was this guy? He was a dead workman, the type of spending his whole life toiling away for nothing. That's a sad way of viewing life as a valuable, hard work. Honourable hard work. It's okay to loot him, right? Yeah, why not? Not like the guy will complain, but don't go around talking about it too loud, okay? It would be dishonourable. Only take that which you need for your quest. Grave robbing is frowned upon by the same, even in these enlightened times. Why is he here? This is a morgue, a lich house, clearly. Lich house? A mortuary. A holding space for dead bodies during times of undeath. They are known to be heavily guarded. I should stop bothering the corpse now. What do we have here? A divine shrine covered in apples. The shrine fills you with a sense as you approach. The colour is faded. This monument is hollow, void of life and divinity. And worse, it's covered in rotten apples. A sacred shrine left in the state is an insult. These old things still around? Are these rare? Can I pray here? No, you will find shrines all like this all over Norvik. These old things still around. A remnant of blindness and decay. A sacred shrine left in the state is an insult to Uther, Earth, and all of his people. Indeed. Yet you are very much aware that this is not the worst you've seen. You'll have to fight hard to keep Earth's dream afloat. This city is lost, but it is not yet lost. How poetic. You're also aware that this city is very much in need of change. Change from what? An honourable lifestyle? A peaceful city for humans to prosper in? Humans, tall and beautiful like yourself, known as pests of the coast by those who are less inclined to reproduce like rabbits. Change from stagnation and mire of decay. Uther's crusade brought triumph. The corruption brought about his fall is due to exactly that kind of filthy rhetoric. You're certainly allowed to be wrong in your opinions there. Stop complaining. I won't solve anything. This gives me a headache. Remove the apples. Let's remove the apples. It does not take long for you to move some of the nasty apples away from the front of the shrine. A small improvement, but big and harsh. Can I pray here? To what exactly? Uther. Uther. I need to pray to Uther, so it's a waste of time. Yes, a waste of time, nothing else. You may pray as you wish. The shrine towers over you. You feel small. To cast the spell, you must first prepare them at shrines. Preparing spells can be cast when the cleric has reason to do so, either in or out of dialogue. Each cast expands one spell slot of the corresponding level. What other gods are there? Many. Uther, father of Norvik. You've devoted your life to follow in his footsteps. Toki the gambler. A trickster, the type of god only famous for the ridiculous ploys. His ridiculous ploys. Toki the gambler is often seen as a silly goblin myth. Ooh, goblins. Goblins, short and green, got claws and fangs, little monsters. They've got 3 tribes in Norvik and are considered somewhat civilized. Monsters short of monstrosity is defined as a non-sentient creature born out of magical means, often by combining various natural beasts or from curses or esoterical events. Esoteric, the magic of Jaw and his strings. The coast is unfinished with it. Strings. I wonder what strings means. Pray to Torgig would, if you have some reason, would get a response. Only results in the exact opposite of whatever you want. These are not actually gods, are they? No, not gods technically. It is complicated. These are the common divine avatars known as the various folks of Norvik. Norvik, the central city of Askani and last bastion of humanity, is found upon the end of the reconquerance in 468 AE, exactly 70 years ago. Ascani. Ascan, one of 8 bands along the coast, it is a cold mountainous realm. It is your home, also referred to as Cunny, interchangeably. Ban, an esoteric divide splitting the circular coast of Jaw into 8 geographical areas, commonly known as bands. Each band has unique esoterical and natural traits and stretches from the coast to the infinite waste. Jaw, the name of our realm, also the name of the legendary wizard who created it. He died during the closing at the end of the Great Era. Wizard, a book-learned arcane spellcaster, typically plays Jaw's strings by memorizing and executing esoterical rituals and chants. Long ago, the true outside gods invaded Jaw's realm. When the gates shut, their divine essence awakened walking gods along the coast. Walking gods, the term used to describe the divine avatars who rose and fell in and around the divine era. Most major religions on the coast today are built around these figures, and their influence can be felt everywhere. Earth was the last known walking god when he faded 27 years ago. Earth, your god. A ruse played by powers in the beyond. Ridiculous. I'm done. Okay. Let's prepare some spells. Ooh, I got Cure Wounds. I'll take that for the moment. Link. Finish that. One more thing I could do. Wait, I can't heal here through Divine Assurance or anything? Not precisely. The gods do not usually grant divine intervention for minor injuries. Do you think they care? If you want healing, you have to do it yourself. With the power channeled through Earth, yes. Come on, is it really channeled? The guy's dead, faded, gone. You're most likely simply handling some esoteric leftover, smudges on the strings. Well, I don't get anything for it, but... yeah, let's try. Ugh, terrible. Failure. You focus your mind on this symbol, this red eye. Recite a few words of remembrance before your sense of channeling string around the shrine. They converge upon you. Mend. Huh, well, that's something. Sure is, but you'll sense there is something you're missed. Where are those words, the ones you learned in the tower? The tower, the home base of the Order of Arcane Clerics of Norvik, also known as Orcan, Oink. Nobody calls it that. Let's try it again. I can't. Alright. That was fun. Okay. Ooh. A scripture. Where does this belong? Shield of Faith. I learned something. Pile of apples. You stare at the pile of apples. Apples are good for you. These apples are not in pristine condition. Whose apples are these? Not yours. The only apple farm in Norvik would be the Goblin Garden. These apples are property of the HBWT. Goblin Garden. A dwarven built citadel sitting in the southernmost tip of Tolstead. It is now the Goblin Sanctuary and Greenhouse. Should these be stored alongside corpses? No, it's a health hazard. Of course not, it's nasty. Something tells me that no, they should not. Could I eat through this pile of apples? It's not really a question of could, it is a question of do you have the time? You are not capable of carrying such a tremendous burden. It would be greatly beneficial. Ability check. Roll d20 and modifiers to get unique condition. Difficulty class is often impacted by your choices, big or small. Okay, let's remove the bad apples first. Your hand swipes over the surface of apples, carefully plucking away any signs of spoilage. Hey, that dropped the difficulty class. That's a lot of apples. Yes. Ha! Big success! You look upon this challenge with determination. Your stomach is empty. Dig in. You dig in. The first apple goes down. Hunch the hatch. Going smooth so far. Another one. Number 2 goes well. You chew it in pieces. Now the third. Yep, that sure was an apple. Continue. Going smooth so far. Next one. This one was harder. Your stomach fights the taste. It is getting difficulty. One more should be fine. This is the limit. As you chow down on the apple and feel your jaw ache, your hands shake. Apple overdose. Dangerous stuff. No such thing. Come on. You feel refreshed, for a moment at least. The pile of apple towers over you still. You barely made a dent. Yes, eat the apples, apple boy. Feel sick. As you feel sick, you see something sticking out of a piece of apple. A piece of paper? No. It is a spell scroll of dancing lights. It is dancing lights, a versatile cantrip that can be used to light up your surroundings at will. You quickly memorize the spell scrolls, consuming it into your psyche, as you always do. Some people in the tower used to fear your innate power to master magic like that. What is understandable, it's pretty terrifying. Which is understandable, it's pretty terrifying. Cantrips are spells that can be cast at will outside of dialogue. They do not consume any spell slots. Very cool. Prepare spells. Let's see, I can do this one and cure wounds. Neat. Oh, cool. Short rest. What else is down here? Cure wounds, Field of Faith. Just to one. What is this card? A very important piece of paper. A scuffed voting card made out of hemlin. It is formed in a dwarves office at some reason, and someone has checked all the 5 parties on the list. You need to bring this to the polling place on election day for your voice to be heard. You picked up a surprisingly thick piece of paper with shaking hands. The card is slightly torn and has clearly been drenched at some point. At the top says Rostako, a big bold lettering. Rostako means voting card in the fancy Askani Dwarven. 5 days remaining. Oh right, there's an election. Oh-ho! It was nice to not think about that for once. Useless. We've never had one of those before. Neat. Very neat. Finally your voice will be heard, along with every other idiot in Norvik. How does this thing work? After you've picked on the district office, you only need to check the box of one of the 5 parties. Then you deliver it to election day at the polling place. Although in your case you'll need to write the name of the party you want to corner in the corner along with your his signature, since you've filled out every other box like an idiot. Look at the list of parties. Nationalist Party of Norvik. Party of Norvik, inheritors of Uruth, as well a theocratic organisation founded to uphold the old ways, headed by magistrate and 20-something noble families. Free Riders. Free Riders, the new way. People in the East have overthrown the old wizards and gods. For years, the revolution has slowly creeped into the city. Now it's time to finally join the Free Cities and get rich. Free Cities, a collection of city-states in reeds, all united under the golden banner of Free Riders. Norvik will join them one way or another. Reeds, one of the 8 bands along the coast. It is a temperate land of lowlands and many lakes, commonly seen as the homeland of humans. Large proportions are still cursed, holding entire undead cities, eternally burning valleys and floating mountains. What a lovely place. Asgalis. Workers' Party. Hold on. Agalis. Agalis. The workers who built the city want to rule it seem only just. Their vision is a fair and even society where those who live underneath rise up to show their worth. After all, why can't we all share? Agarians, those who live off the earth, simple farmers, people of the land, the common clay of Askani fields. Their political movement has mostly been swollen by the Asgalis, or the Workers' Party. The Arcanist, Party of Magic. Arcanist, a magocrat who rule pre-Coast War human civilization in old Demonor. Also a very minor political party in Norvik. Demonor, the arcane era, name for reeds, often referred to as the Old Demonor. The name was changed by Free Riders revolutionaries to mark the end of the old magocracy. Arcane era, 511 years of rapid magical technological growth, as well as the birth and death of the great human magicries in Magicocracy in Demonor, now reads, ended 27 years ago. And finally, the last box doesn't say anything. This is where you can input whatever you want, or just leave it empty for a null vote. The box next to each party is filled in with a smudged check mark, including the last empty one. Are these all the parties? No. There are about a dozen other larger parties in Norvik. Most have been subsumed over the last few years, such as civic legends of progressionism, the Torch of Unions, Order of the Scales, Hedonistic Party, and the various guild parties. The Argarians and the Arcanists are the only ones who have not joined a larger party or fallen apart. Good to know. Take an apple. Never know when an apple will come in handy. A guy looks indecisive. You approach the shambling man by the apples. He does not acknowledge your presence. He is unaware of you. Greetings, citizen. Glancing under the hood, you can catch the blank expression spread upon a dried face. What is your name, sir? He does not even turn to look at you. Identify yourself, citizen. This is a reanimated corpse. Probably a work zombie, although it has been illegal to employ undead since the Bone Purge of 11. Bone Purge, a citywide effort in 11 PE to stop necromancers from outcompeting mortal-staffed factories. Sir, are you a member of the undead? He does not respond. What is he doing? The zombie is attempting to clear a path through the apple pile. I found this voting car over there. Is this yours? The zombie does not grant you any direction. He just keeps working slowly. You grip the voting card firm in your gloved hand. It is indeed yours. Keep it safe. You're very rude. Did you know that? I think voting cards to nationalists would be a great idea. The free riders a revolution, no. You need to establish the agonist, no. Everything around the so-called democratic process is madness. Everyone should just vote for me and be their god and wizard king. That way I can solve all their problems through magical dictatorship. I like that. It is a naive thought, but it is in all honesty, there is no other good way forward. You have become an Arcanist. Gain 10 times, 5 times 2 for choosing this political stance 2 times. Your genius will enlighten the masses. It simply must be. The zombie does not object to your campaign speech. In fact, the zombie does not react at all. Am I boring you? The zombie carefully places another apple at the top of the pile. Should I defeat the zombie? Yes, it is only just. Undead are not to be allowed in Norvik. You should probably speak with the owner first. Alright. I did know that it has a funky tooth. Adds 1 to wisdom. But my pickpocketing sucks. So, let's go upstairs. Mushrooms, probably edible.
Mm-hmm.
An empty pot. Looking inside, you find the pot is empty. Most contain strange herbs and ashes. One does not. The pot was recently emptied. It can still see remnants of dust in the bottom. There is fear. You must grow sturdier. Success. You hedonistic fool. Pray the stomach dies and lets the mind work without its poisonous influence. Oh dear. The red eye of Uthar. Jaw left his mark across the band. Today is the universal sign of magic. Okay. Ooh. I got 14. Nice. The Pale Man handles corpses in the basement, a typical self-employed city contractor. You remember hearing about this man. He used to be a dentist and a surgeon. I can learn more. He has shit, which is cool. Let's try this. The Pale Man sits hunched over a stack of forms, busy at work, his pencil slowly filling in outlines after line. On the top page you see an icon of a serpentine drake. A great perch. This is the official documents of the city. Great perch, the drake-like sea creature found throughout River Torna. Earth was known to tame these creatures, and eventually the great perch became the symbol of the great city. River Torna, the second largest documented river along the coast, splitting the band of Ascani in half. This is the great perch of Norvik. Up and about are we? Wonderful. Death. This is death. I am Viscan, Lord Entrepreneur and proprietor of this lich house. It appears you didn't really belong here, but if there is anything I can do, Cleric, just let me know. Look around. He smiles at you. Look around the room. Books and flasks litter the circular chamber. A dimly lit and damp, there are several corpses present. These stone tables were once modular altars used for some advanced ritual. Did you save my life? He puts down his pen. Your life is your own. You owe me nothing, however. I'm afraid to say you've been through quite a turmoil, Cleric. Tell me everything. Of course, you must be confusing. To tell you the truth, some fishermen brought you here late last night. River Taiki added. They caught you in their nets, took you for a corpse. Not that I blame them, you weren't exactly in prime condition. Wait, how did I end up in the river? Not a river, the river. I'm afraid I don't have much to tell you. Perhaps you fell off one of the bridges in Tolstal. There are several bridges over the river Torna, connecting Torna to the rest of the city. I would never fall. It must have been an assassination attempt. I must have slipped, and happens all the time. Perhaps there was an esoteric explanation. I never fall. How awful. Who were these fishermen? The river guilders, I believe. They did not look like poachers, so my guess would be that. Find them. They hold the truth. Where can I find the fishermen? He ponders the question. I did not ask for their names, sorry to say. But perhaps Waterlane. That's just a guess. Waterlane, the largest trade port in Norvik, located in a massive tunnel piercing the centre of Tolston. It is so-called marvel of the Dwarven engineering, and it is the reason so many people commute to Tolston over the many bridges, considered as one of the great crafts wonders of the world. Either that or the local taverns. I hope you find them. So I am in fact alive. The pale man stops for a moment. He looked you up and down. Yes? I believe you are. I have some other questions, I think. Wisdom check. Whoa! I require assistance with some things. Of course, Cleric. Anything for the city. I don't know where I am to go. Your Seiki voice makes you sound positively fortvidled. Fortvidled. Dwarven word meaning desperation, anguish, hysteria, brought on from mental pain. I don't mean to tell you what to do, Cleric, but there is a certain rumour that our local Goblin Chief is waiting for you. Goblin Chief? Lady Miska Sageleaf is her name. She is down in Goblin Garden. Of course you've heard of her. Lady Sageleaf is quite famous. She leads one of the 3 goblin tribes, exonerated by the narrated by the Orth after the conquest. The conquest, the correct way of referring to the historical event in which humans founded Norvik. Most humans, however, refer to it as the Reconquest. The Reconquest, a historical event in Norvik, it began with Uther landing in 466 AE and is said to have been finished by 468 AE, where Uther finished eradicating the trolls who roamed the ruins of Tulin Kalt at the point of contention if it should be called Reconquest or just a conquest, as no human has ever lived in the location before. Trolls. A monster native to Asken. They exist in broad categories, some small and mostly harmless. Green trolls, a mutated violated cursed troll. They vary in intelligence, strength, and organizational abilities, but they are a core enemy of the Ulffolk. It was Ulf who destroyed their rising kingdom during the late Arcane era. Ulffolk, the people of Ulf, the ancestors of those that reconquered the Ascani coast, true mythological heroes. They called her the Dragon of Tolstead. I'm not afraid of her. She sounds scary. She is. Treat her with respect, Cleric. Lady Sageleaf is a powerful ally. I would even go so far as to call her a de facto lawkeeper here in this fortress. Wait, this is part of the job. Talking with some petty goblin queen? You may find her at the southern tip of the Tulsid, the pale man says, and keeps scribing on the papers in front of him. So, what do you know about spellcasting? Quite a bit. If he knows more than you, then it could be useful. Can you teach me magic? A slight smirk creeps across his face. I sadly don't have time for a proper lecture at the moment. After the elections I could make time if you are interested. Great knowledge awaits. Until then, you are free to browse my collection, he says, glancing at the many books along the western wall. And of course, gain item, Charm Person. Charm Person, a first level enchantment spell. If the target fails a wisdom check, you'll be their favourite person for a little while. Of course, after that they will surely hate you, but who cares about that? A copy of Charm Person. It will surely be useful to you. A truly diabolical spell. The tower teaches it only to its highest tier spellcasters usually, despite its first level. It's a great shortcut for charming people, although you gotta be careful with the fallout. If you care about such a thing. Can you explain the various basics of spellcasting? Oh, I mean, of course. Embarrassing. As a wizard, you memorize your spells before casting them. As an arcane cleric, you may memorize your spells during prayer at the shrine. There is one downstairs by the apples. Where can I find more shrines? There's the Temple of Earth, of course, and just up the stairs past the pillars. There's also it's just up the stairs past the pillars. There is also one on the Western Lane View, I believe, past the trade post. You'll find more hidden around every corner. I can promise you that. How do I get more spells? 2 ways. You could spend time learning them, drafting pages out of the palace archives. The palace, an unofficial nickname for the current rulers of Norvik, named after the palace district in which most central authorities reside. Palace District, one of the 5 districts in Norvik, home of the aristocrats, bureaucrats, and remnants of Uther's court. Or the great library in the tower, since you obviously would have some access to that. However, I don't believe you have time for either of those options. So I would suggest the other route. What's that? Spell scrolls. Right, spells with spells on them, indeed. Now, Tulsa is filled with all kinds of strange cases, so you'll probably encounter more of them looking around. If you get your hands on the scrolls, then just memorize it. Cantrips and spells, doesn't matter. It seems you're talented enough to memorize them on the spot. I am. Strike a heroic pose. Sure, thanks. Well... He nods at you and gets back to his writing. That's all I have asked about that. Very well. If you want to practice, feel free to cast anything non-lethal on my servant, Orst. Treating a servant like that is despicable. Sounds like good practice. Maybe I will. He nods slowly. You called me Cleric, making air quotes. Yes, I did. I am not a cleric, no way. Interesting. What are you then? A sexy rogue, I'm a hero. I'm a wizard. Wise choice would be the easy pivot. Despite everything, you are now a wizard. Gain 10 XP for choosing the class twice. If you ignore all the wizard haters, yes, the anti-Arcanist movement is indeed quite toxic. That's all I need, thanks. There is a zombie in your basement. Oh, how quaint. No, an undead abomination right below. Sure, why is it there? We're closely connected to the city below. The undead seemingly wander as they please. City below, short for the city below the city. A phrase used to describe the incurable amount of tunnels and ruins below Norvik. Lots of monsters and stuff down there. Also riches if you delve deep enough. City below the city. The vast ruins found underneath Norvik. Most define it as the parts of the city not yet civilized, although there is a legal definition set in place for each individual district. However, I will have to take this up with the Lady Sageleaf. I pray good crowns for the HWBT protection. HWBT, the Halfway Bridge Tribe, commonly called the Halfways, one of the 3 goblin tribes in Norvik, and arguably the most influential. Despite their small size, led by the Lady Miska Sageleaf, with their headquarters in the Goblin Gardens on Tulsa. Halfway, short for HWBT, the Halfway Bridge Tribe. Oh, so it's all a misunderstanding then. It keeps moving apples there. Oh, the apples. Fascinating behaviour. You don't seem alarmed by this. A stray undead creature will cause no trouble here. He gives you a rare smile and turns to the kobold and thinks, isn't that right, Orst? Yes, master. Wait, I don't actually believe you. What do you mean? The zombie is clearly working for you. You're doing something weird here. I don't like it one bit. I greatly apologize for putting you in this situation. It is my neglect that led to this undead creature entering the tower. I will make sure to tighten up security soon. No, you're... Ors will do a clean sweep of the basement this evening. Get ready. The kobold gives a screeching yell. Yes, master. I will also make sure that report this both to the HWBT, Halfways, and the militia. I'm trying to say you need to pay for... Of course, I'll be sure to ask for a thorough inspection by the PCG, Pest Control Guild. The pale man is twisting your entire situation. Smart. If there is anything unbecoming about my business here, it shall be uncovered and unveiled. Holy shit, he just keeps going. Thank you very much for your service, Cleric. It is because of your great men like you that the city still stands. Neither of these is particularly good. I'll be sure it's good work from practitioner will assume promotion of thing, especially if the great works is doing in the tea shop. This resist. Yeah, go on. Natural 20! Focus on the main point. Illegal zombie, go. Stop. I know what you're doing. The tailman opens mouth to respond. The zombie did work on your property. He closes his mouth and looks at you. It was picking up apples or something. It's a violation of the bone principle. The bone purge. Yes, I am aware. The pale man takes a deep breath. He reaches below his desk and brings forth a pouch. An isolated incident. It will not be repeated. A bunch of crowns. He hands it to you. Crowns. The Norvidican crown. The main coinage in Norvik. Norvidican crowns. The official currency of Norvik. Suffer heavy inflation during the years after the Uther passing. A meal is somewhere between 5 to 20 crowns. A cheap month's rent is 100 crowns. The spellbook is 50 crowns. An average salary outside the city is up to 300. Average salaries inside the city is up to 500. Uther's passing. The day your god died. Norvik used to celebrate this with fervor when you were little, as many fanatics believed he would return if they hosted a true legendary feast. Uther's passing, drink and feasting with families and friends, mostly used to ignore the darkness of winter's outset. This feels like a bribe. This isn't a bribe, is it? Crowns. Score! Grasp the couch. Of course not, Cleric. As a city cleric, you obviously have the ability to accept Dagstobber on behalf of Norvik. Dagstobber, dwarven for day fine. Some might call it illegal extortion, but it really depends on your distinction. Violation of the Bone Plague Code, Article 4, in single violation cause of Dogspiter, a minor class of is issued. In relation to the status of the toasted business owner, they'd be precisely 25 crowns. How does he know that? Well done. Justice has prevailed. Yeah, we'll give it a shot. Yeah. You glare at the pale man who keeps working on his documents for approximately 2 minutes. Eventually you feel struck in your thoughts. I don't mean to imply I know more than an honourable Earthguard member, my good cleric. However, you must certainly have more important things to do on a day like this. He's correct. Maybe we can get back to him this later. Some dice checks are locked on failure and can be attempted again later. These checks are unlocked on a long or short rest, or by spending shards of drawing. But a roll with a high difficulty should probably be lowered before attempting again. Before you do, make sure to collect all your belongings. He gives you a quick inspection with his dead eyes. Too quick, like he's trying not to show his interest. Weird. What belongings? Quite a lot. Your uniform, your cloak, and also a voting card. A penciled voting card. Every party had been marked on it. I'm assuming it's yours. Yeah, sorry, I'm indecisive. The pale man ignores your comment. I asked Us to lay the surviving page of your spellbook to dry over there, he says, and points across the chamber. He then looks at the pocket watch on his desk. This is the esoteric pocket watch. You may have it, Cleric. It will surely prove useful to you. Beyond that, you should be good. Did I have any weapons with me? None, I'm afraid. You must be at the bottom of the Torna. Good. You do not need arms in the city. You need heart. Got it. The pale man turns his face towards you and smiles. If only every government employee were as devoted as you, Cleric. He gives you a stern expression. Good luck on your quest. His words burn a hole in your heart. When exploring the sea, you may move faster by running. Do this by holding shift or left trigger on the controller. Time to go. A pocket watch. Yours? Let's see, this silver line timepiece never shows the correct time of day. It is always at least 10 hours out of alignment, no matter how anyone tries to correct it. At a touch, you feel the faint magical pulsating within. The wielder gains a greater perception of esoteric happenings and occurrences within 200 feet. Nice. Ooh, lots of joinings. Ooh, hold on. My spellbook. Getting big. Journal. That's getting full too. Alright. Where else we got? Hey, my book. Wait, is that? Ooh, ruined prayer book. The book is ruined. Most of the pages, well, dry now, have been completely drenched. In salt water! It's absolutely and completely ruined! Only a few pages of the soggy Brachin papyrus pages are readable. They appear to contain some type of undecipherable symbols. Ashkani writing of the most basic kind. Wait! Oh, no. Someone has attempted to dry these in the best of their ability. Oh, no, no! By Earth! This is your prayer book. So many hours wasted. You would have to rebind the whole thing. It is ruined. It will cost a fortune! A chant book is able to sustain humidity. No underwater excursions. You should have protected Uther's chants more carefully. What a disgrace. Take the ruined prayer book. Bummer. The stone slabs are designed to slide along the iron beams. Interesting. A thick tome lies upon the iron slab. You flip open the tome. There is a fine and handwritten letter scattered across the pages. You can read these symbols, but they are in old draconic diminution. Occult. These words should translate into something akin to occult dragon speech. Author's name appears to be Calum Dominor. Dominor, it was one of the most powerful magicrafts families in Old Dominor, known for their reality warping artifacts and enchantment spawned from the Drake Slayer King Duganpon, Old Dinanor Kingdom. The Dinanor Kingdom, a term for Dinanor, often used to refer to the band before the renaming of Reeds during the end of the Coast War. Capitulating agreements. Some say it with sarcasm, some say it with pride, some say it with fear. Coast Wars. The Great War, a conflict between the anarchists, Arcanists, and of Reed, as well as every other nation connecting with them across the coast. A horrible waste of human lives which claimed millions of lives. There was no honour in this fight, that you know. War Coast, a near century spanning conflict between every great nation of the Arcane era. Scholars estimate it claimed more than half the entire human population. It is said to have begun in 398 AE before the inciting spark of the assassination of priestess Ilona, and generally agreed to have concluded the fall of Zazen in 481 AE, 57 years ago. Arcane Era, the fourth of all out of 5 eras, when the Arcanist rose and dominated the entire coast, only to fall when the coast wall crumbled their empire to dust. Era. Modern scholars divided history on Jaw into 5 eras. These are canonically important events as starting points for the era through this. The earliest, the Arcanists of Voldemort still had a common consensus. Not everyone agrees with the so-called post-war era has even begun, let alone what it should be called. Post-war, the current era, has lasted 27 years. The name was chosen in Reeds. The name is subject to change. Old Draconics. Yes, the language of the Dragon Master of Old Numenor. Anyone who uses the term for anything modern is either an anti-free rider or lives under a rock. Humans served them faithfully for centuries before the Arcanists rose up against them. Could I translate this? No. Not without more weeks of study. We were not trained in Draconic thing. Right, I need to get a hands-on and comprehend language. Yes, you do. It's highly annoying that you seem to have lost your memorization. Find a spell scroll, maybe you could buy it somewhere. It's fairly common. What do we got? Incense! Let's get some. Nummy num. Behold, too much reading. Not for me. So many books, basic manuals, anarchist history, novels. Some of these stand out as your classics. It could be useful to refresh your mind. Chants of Norvik by the Patriarch Peli. This is the printed edition of Peli's work, but still old. Probably comes from the earliest Norvican printers. On the first page, a short message is hand-scribed in the corner. My belief lay in the collected humanity of Norvik. May you remember that from this collection with honour and grace. Peli D. Is this a handwritten message from the second patriarch himself? Protect this book with your life. This is a secret artifact. Fascinating to think that the pale man held such a treasure on his shelf. Read the forward. A dream of unity under Earth. The book Earth. The book begins with the lengthy essay about the foundations of Norvikian culture, volumes, values, the reality, like guides, or if anything, on what a Norvikian person is, how their values come to the various tribes and the old country, and how together they have formed something greater under Earth. You've read this before, but you do get a better sense of what this is all means now. It is, in some sense, a plea, a stern suggestion for every human in Norvik to lose any sense of formal tribe identity, to embrace a new one, a Norvikian spirit, to give away the old and embrace the new. It is not a completely bad move. To unite the folk is to build commonality, to lower inequality, although of course there were many direct ways the state at the time made sure that the old did not remain in the shadows. Violence and oppression at times. The text directly explains how a new Norvikian culture will help the city grow and fight against inequality and injustice through unity. Mainly by being generous and not hoarding wealth amongst other things. Ha! A naive thought. Then finally it does touch upon the connection with dwarves as well, and how the Norvikian spirit is not contained within humans only. It is not just blood, it is sweat and tears as well. Those folk who unite with us will not be seen as others. No, they too are Oos folk. They too are Oos guards. That's a long ass forward. Yeah, it's like 5 pages. Oh man, old man likes to ramble. Read Torna's lament. I went with you to foreign shores, my lord, my guard. I pray you keep from harm. The beasts, each shard, a proof of your devotion. Thus I gave myself to your folk. I gave my life for a home at the river, in that sliver of land, to vanquish the beasts who roam, the evil who lair, the fires that burn, to build a life along the river. Every shepherd knows the song, it bellows up the river. Uther's lives in the sliver of land. It is your favourite. Close the book. You shut the book, looking upon the title once more. Collected Chants of Norvik. Place the book back on the shelf. This is a really great book. It is. Place the book back on the shelf. You do. It fits nicely back in its slot. This book does not deserve your toxic presence. If you were stronger, maybe capable, then perhaps you could carry that weight. What? You really want the book? Only one day it could be yours. This is very confusing. You're just putting a book back. There's some issue with stealing going on here. Just ignore it. Let us forget this for now. Opening the Trill Sisters book shows you an index of several tales, many of which you heard growing up. These stories shape reality from the mind, for the mind does not distinguish a tale from real life lessons. You are but the same. Out of the tales, you see the one you remember the most, the one about the gnome and the titan. This is a story always spoken to you, mostly because of the unlikely friendship between the two. Read A Little and the Large. In the old days, when dragons ruled the skies and titans wandered the earth, there lived a gnome named Abacus, known for far and wide as a half-wit. Whether by fate or folly, he often found himself in the oddest of places, and so it was that he stumbled upon a deep valley of Ascan. The valley was home to Karyamor, the Mist Titan, a colossal being with furs as thick as the ancient forest and limbs that can clutch the very mountains. His upper body was hidden in, or perhaps made of, a swirling mist that filled the valley. But on this day, the valley was not the serene refuge it had once been. The air was thick with ash, and the rivers ran black, and the trees stood as charred husks. Esus, the ancient red dragon, had... excuse me a second. Yes, woman?
Hey, just wondering if you were still awake so I could get some ointment on my back if possible.
I can do that.
That'd be good. I've also got a dog I'm trying to get out at the moment. He's been a shit. He let himself in.
Okay.
Clearly the door wasn't shut properly. But now I can't even coax him with a bicky because he knows exactly what I want him to do.
Uh-huh.
So hopefully I'll have him out by the time you get here.
Okay.
But just in case, be wary when you come in the door that he doesn't jump all over you.
Okay, no.
No worries, thank you.
Be there in a bit.
Yeah, bye.
Okay. Why this late at night, woman? Anyway, I'll finish the story. The ancient red dragon had set fire a forest aflame, hoping to drive Karyamor from the domain and claim the fertile valley for himself. Karyamor was furious, and his great form trembled with rage. As he searched for the source of the destructions, his eyes fell upon Abacus, who was wandering aimlessly, his tiny mind more puzzled by the sudden darkness than anything else. To think that the coast was filled with these beasts of azure at one point. They reigned harshly and wildly, but it is not hard to see why some preferred their chaotic dominance to the tyranny of dragons. Continue reading the verse. Thrick lum chum, who dares bring fire to where none should come? Ash tainted my scarred mist. Speak, small one, lest ye be missed. Abacus looked up, squinting through the fog, and scratched his head. Fire? No, I've no fire of share, no flame do I bring, nor ash to bear, for in the dark I see clear as day. 'Tis those who can't that need the flame, they say. Thrick lum chum, what nonsense from your tongue does come? Who is that needs this blaze, that blackens my mist and dims my days? Well, question thee who needs a flame to light their path and stroke their claim. Perhaps it is Esrul, the king whose fires to your valley bring. Whose fires to the valley thing. Shrek lum shum, the dragon's days are surely done. Guide me, gnome, to where he lies. Together we shall dim his skies. The story goes on to wax about the friendship sparked between the eldritch titan and the silly little gnome as they sought out Esum, Eslut on his throne. The ancient red dragon then fell to the Titan's might after Abacus accidentally guided him to the correct location. One of those classic stories every child in Asken is told growing up. It is important to remember that this is an oral tale passed down over generations. This is simply the shape in which it was written down. Who knows how exactly it functioned in the original state? You shut the book, looking up to the title once more. Folktale. Gain 5 in XP. Damn, the XP is growing quick. Do I want to go through that? No, I gotta go because destiny and other people want me. But that's all good. But yeah, I know it's a lot of reading, a lot of talking and everything, but I just love the nature of this game. And I love Disco Elysium as well. This is just as much fun. Just going through and making stupid choices and seeing what happens. So, yeah. And also rolling and seeing if you succeed on a dice roll. So much fun as always. Anyway, I will call it from there. And I will catch you all tomorrow on Smiley's stream. Other than that, be well and keep yourselves happy and free. Bye for now.